Buying secondhand equipment is one of the best way to maximize your money in this particular hobby. And today I saw this Lotoo Paw Gold Touch coming in at less than half the retail price. And it is a new device, which means that the person who purchased it pre-ordered it and only received it this year. So it is one of the more newer manufactured items. Yes, it may be an old device based on launch date, but based on when it was produced, this is definitely a new device. So less than half the price and a flagship product of Lotoo, why not, right? Just try it out and see whether it works out. If not, I just sell it away. Now, today, if you look online, the price ranges anywhere from 1,300 to about 2,000 USD for a second-hand Lotoo Paw Gold Touch, but normally they are more than a year or two old. I think if it sounds great, it will be a good deal. So the question is, does this sound great in comparison to modern DAPs, modern digital audio players? Now for Lotoo Paw, it's a bit unique because Lotoo Paw devices have no streaming capabilities and they use their own proprietary OS. So today I'm going to unbox, show you guys through the system because I myself never explored it much, and see whether is it still worth to use it in 2024, and then compare the sound with modern DAPs and see what's the difference. Is it better? Is it worse because it's old? And is it a good deal to just use second-hand flagship devices? Now, the newer Gold Touch 2 is a lot bigger, and that's the reason why I really want to try the original Gold Touch. Talk too much already, let's unbox this. This is second-hand, by the way, so unboxing may not be perfect. But, I still want to do it because it looks really, really nice. So this is the device here. One thing I like is really the small size. Later I'll show you guys a comparison. This is the case. It comes with the Lotoo Paw itself. I'm not sure whether is it used, but it looks really, really new to me. Now this is the cables. So a USB-A to USB-C cable. So the good thing of this Lotoo Paw Gold Touch is that it's still a modern device. So it uses USB-C, not USB-A or USB-B, which is great. So before I put it in the case, let's take a look at this device itself. Now this is second-hand, but as I said, it is really, really new. I mean, it's only purchased this year. You can see everything feels so pristine and new, and just hear the sound. Really nice volume knob. I mean, it's nicer than any of the volume knobs I get today. So all the buttons are here, and then it uses a SD card slot. So this is not micro SD, this is a full SD card slot, as you can see here. Now the good thing of full SD card slot is you can get really, really high-end fast cards. Does it affect sound? I have no idea. As I said, this is a new device, so it has USB-C, so you are not going to worry about it being outdated in terms of connectivity. It is quite hefty, quite nice, and overall I think the construction is just perfect. Size-wise, it's not really huge. If you compare to the N3 Ultra, one of the smaller devices, you can see that, of course, this has a case on, but you notice that it is not much bigger, and it's the same thickness. You can feel it's the same thickness. Now, if you compare to even the R4, this is the R4. This is smaller than the R4 by a good 1 cm. So it is a very small device. Now, if you compare to any modern flagship device, it is just outright tiny if you compare to the M9 Plus. Look at the amount of, difference in height. And also, this whole device can fit into the screen. So if you're looking for a small compact device, Lotoo do provide one of the most high-end compact device that I think other than the SP3000M, there is no compact device with equivalent high-end specs. So I fitted this into a case, and let's see the boot up time. Lotoo uses their own proprietary OS, so this is supposed to be really, really quick, even in modern standards. You can see it boots up in like less than 5 seconds. You compare to many modern Android devices, it takes longer. Let's see how fast it actually loads all the albums instantaneously. Click on the song. Look at how smooth it is. Oh my. This is definitely as good as many modern devices, and Lotoo launched it 5 years back. So the best thing of Lotoo device, at least based on what I've seen so far, is that even if you buy this thing from 5 years back, it will operate like a modern device without lag, boot up really quickly, and don't give you any hassle. So this is definitely more responsive than some devices that I recently tried out. Modern devices I recently tried out. Of course, this is expensive. Even by today's standards, you still get a very modern feeling device, which is great. And it's nice and small. Now, that's enough for talking about its size and stuff. I will want to try it out. Now, this is a second-hand set, so I will reset it to default and then compare it with other DAPs that I have here. So just doing a quick impression using my U12T, I feel that it is a very mid-centric DAP. Feels like it's very powerful in the mids, very filled up, and the bass impact is really nice and crisp. However, I do think that the soundstage isn't that huge, at least based on what I heard so far. I think it's pretty normal. But beyond the bass and beyond the mids, I don't find that there's anything spectacular about this particular player here. It just does the mids in a very nice, powerful and full-bodied way, which I'm not sure whether is it unique to this player. I have to compare, but at least that is my first impression using the U12T. It sounds really dynamic, very fun, full-bodied, powerful for the mids itself. Now, this is of course listened in isolation. So the device of this size, I want to compare to another device of this size. Of course, this is a lot cheaper, but let's do a comparison. And both of these devices, no streaming capabilities, playing the exact same song. I just want to know how they sound like. Now, I've listened to both of these devices together, and I will tell you that the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch is superior. It's superior to the Cayin N3 Ultra in its, I would say, as solid state mode. It's also superior to the Cayin N3 Ultra in its modern tube mode. What I mean is that soundstage is just bigger, bass is just punchier, separation is better, positioning is better, even details in the treble when it comes to hitting the cymbals, so much better on the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch. I'm not even nitpicking it, when I first listen it straight away. Yes, the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch is definitely better when it comes to everything I said just now, from the bass, in terms of its tightness, in terms of its punch and control, when it comes to the separation, when it comes to all the little instruments, when it comes to cymbals hitting. It's just all around clearer, cleaner, and better. That being said, there are some difference in rendition. I would say as in its solid state mode, the Cayin N3 Ultra feels very focused, while in modern it tends to open up. So if you are using solid state on the N3 Ultra, it feels really, really small in soundstage wise and sound wise compared to the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch, but you get a very focused sound. Going to modern in the Cayin N3 Ultra opens up the sound. However, it feels right that you lose that focus and that power in the mids, and Lotoo Paw Gold Touch retains that power in the mids while still sounding really, really big. So it is just a superior sounding device. Now in modern mode, you also lose some of the details, a bit smoothing of the details, I would say, not losing it, smoothing of details. The Lotoo Paw Gold Touch maintained those details, yet still sounding relatively big and very clear and still smooth. I would have to say that the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch is a bit more aggressive in terms of sound compared to the N3 Ultra, regardless of solid state mode or its modern tube mode. It is just a little bit more aggressive than either modes itself. So just want to say that if you're looking for a small device and budget is not a constraint, getting a second-hand Lotoo Paw Gold Touch is definitely a better deal than buying the N3 Ultra. Of course, the N3 Ultra gives you a bit of flexibility to play around, solid state mode, tube mode, classic mode. But if you're looking for just sound quality, at least I feel right that the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch really do provide a better sound quality. Now that is of course with the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch and the Cayin N3 Ultra, which is like half the price even when compared to second-hand version of this, and 1/4 the price if you compare to the brand new. So let's try with something more high-end, and that will be the M9 Plus. Now, comparing both of these is a bit interesting. Firstly, I think when it comes to soundstage, the M9 Plus is bigger, but it's just a touch bigger. However, there is a totally different in rendition. Firstly, I think the Lotoo rendition is a bit more mid-focused, more aggressive there, while the M9 Plus is a bit more smooth and more balanced throughout the entire range. When it comes to the bass also, I think the Lotoo is a tighter bass, and when it comes to details, the Lotoo seems to have a little bit more details than the M9 Plus. Now, I do not know whether is it hallucination, but I do think I hear a little bit more on the Lotoo than the M9 Plus itself. That's a very interesting thing. And when it comes to positioning, I do think that the Lotoo is a bit superior, even though it does have a smaller soundstage, but the positioning feels better. However, if you ask me in totality of smoothness and airiness, I think the M9 Plus is a bit smoother and more airy. So what does it mean, right, is that depending on your device, if you have a very mid-focus device, add on a Lotoo is super mid-focus. I don't think that's the best way out. But if you have a neutral device on Lotoo, it will sound really great. So you can play around. Do you want a more balanced, smooth, airy sound? I think the M9 Plus gives you that. Well, if you want a more heavier mids, more powerful, and a little bit more details here and there, then the Lotoo gives you that. So it is very comparable when it comes to flagship versus flagship. In fact, this is not a clear case where Lotoo is inferior. It's different, and even the soundstage difference is so small. But the total rendition is very different, and Lotoo still gains that edge, especially when it comes to details, when it comes to things like the bass impact, the cleanliness of the bass impact. The Lotoo is still superior to this. Very interesting. But if you want airy big sound, the M9 Plus gives you that airy big sound that you cannot get in the Lotoo. I mean, it's small, but it's noticeable. And that's it for the comparison with IEMs. Now I will switch on to headphones, and then we'll close off this first look. So when utilizing the DCA Stealth, things are a bit different here. Firstly, I feel right that the soundstage is about the same. However, Lotoo feels a little bit more powerful and a bit more dispersed actually for the mids. Compared to the Shanling, it's like the opposite when using IEMs. And then the Lotoo do feel a bit more aggressive. Shanling feels a bit more relaxed. But Shanling feels a bit more in control. Lotoo feels a touch more out of control. Just a touch in difference there. However, that being said, when it comes to details, I still feel like the Lotoo has more details than the Shanling. So I'm not too sure what's happening here. Feels like the Lotoo probably can still power the DCA Stealth to a point where it's good and different from the M9 Plus. If I was to choose, I think the M9 Plus is a bit better because of the control. But I do enjoy the bigger mids and more aggressive mids, yet still have the details on the Lotoo itself. It's quite different from the M9 Plus. Now, I think both of them are not the most optimal way to run the DCA Stealth. I think using a dedicated amplifier would have a better outcome and control. But at least I think that the Lotoo, if you want to run headphones with it, no problem, it still will run. So I just want to do a final close-off of this device here. Now, when I was trying it just now, I think the Lotoo was very responsive. It is nicer to use than actually the N3 Ultra. It is more responsive, quicker, and more easy to use. And when even compared to the M9 Plus, it is actually really smooth and very capable to use. So overall, I do think I like and enjoy using the Lotoo just now. For a device that is so old, it is still very flagship-like responsiveness when it comes to general usage. And when it comes to sound quality, it is better than the N3 Ultra, but it is different compared to the M9 Plus. So what it means is that it still has a very comparable high-end sound, but in a very nice and small package, and it sounds different, right? When using headphones, I don't think it's the best, but it still is different from M9 Plus and isn't that much worse off. In fact, I think it's just a different take, and it is no better nor worse than the M9 Plus itself. And that is when, of course, playing the DCA Stealth in normal volume. I mean, I'm not going to burst my ear for it, but that's how I feel about the whole sound itself. So where does it put this entire first look, right? I think the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch here is actually a device that you can consider. Just get it secondhand, and it actually is the most capable, probably to me, portable DAP at this size. I mean, really, look at this. It is still actually smaller than the N3 Ultra. Sounds better than the N3 Ultra. Costs twice the price, even secondhand, but it is still a more capable DAP. And it is more nicer to use, more responsive, and uses a giant SD card, and you can put like fastest SD card inside there. So I really don't think that you should not care about something this old. In fact, take a look at its pricing. If you can get it cheap, secondhand, or maybe some store is selling it at a great discount, do consider it, because I still think that after today's test, I think it's one of the best mini device for DAPs. In fact, I have recently tried the SP3000M. I don't think that is superior to my M9 Plus, but this one actually feels like it can fight with the M9 Plus very nicely. Well, the SP3000M never, I would say, as give me enough confidence that it's actually nice and worth to purchase. But this is actually nice and worth to purchase. It's different. Though you don't have any streaming capabilities and stuff, so just note this is a standalone device again. If you are okay with standalone device, then try this out. If not, that's too bad. And that's about it for today. This is my first look of the Lotoo Paw Gold Touch. And even though this is 2024, 5 years after its launch, if you buy it secondhand, this is a bang for buck for its quality and its size. And I'll see you guys again. Bye bye.